In the year 1066, the landscape of England was about to change forever, marked by a pivotal clash that would echo through the annals of history, the Battle of Hastings. On October 14th, 1066, William, Duke of Normandy, faced King Harold II of England on the battlefield, and the outcome of this encounter would redefine the future of England and its identity. The tale begins earlier that year. Upon the death of Edward the Confessor, the English crown fell into dispute, in part because Edward had died childless, leaving no clear heir. Three contenders emerged, each with a claim to the throne: Harold Godwinson, Earl of Wessex; William, Duke of Normandy; and Harald Hardrada, the Viking King of Norway. Each of these hopefuls was willing to stake their claim through might and battle. Harold Godwinson was crowned King of England, but his ascension was immediately contested. Harald Hardrada attempted to seize the throne, but Harold Godwinson swiftly defeated him at the Battle of Stamford Bridge. Yet, barely had the dust settled when news reached Harold of another impending invasion. This time, the threat was William of Normandy, landing his forces at Pevensey in southern England. Upon learning of William's invasion, Harold quickly marched his tired armies south, covering over 250 miles in a matter of days, a remarkable feat in itself. Despite his army's exhaustion, Harold opted to confront William's forces directly, setting the stage for the infamous Battle of Hastings on Senlac Hill. On the morning of October 14th, Harold's forces took their positions atop the hill, forming a shield wall, a formidable defensive strategy. The Norman army, composed of archers, infantry, and cavalry, began their assault. For much of the battle, the English forces held firm, their shield wall proving an effective deterrent against Norman advances. However, William's tactical prowess shone through with a decisive maneuver. The Normans feigned retreat, drawing segments of the English forces off the hill, thereby breaking the integrity of the English lines. Exploiting this breach, William's forces mounted a renewed offensive, eventually overwhelming Harold's men. The exact details of Harold's fate are a matter of some historical debate, with the Bayeux tapestry famously depicting him as being struck in the eye with an arrow. Nevertheless, his death marked a decisive moment, leading to the collapse of English resistance. By evening, William had emerged victorious, and by Christmas of that year, he was crowned King of England, forever altering the course of English history. The impact of the Battle of Hastings was profound and far-reaching. William's victory and subsequent coronation as King William III marked the beginning of Norman rule in England. This conquest brought about significant changes in the country's governance, culture, and language. The Normans introduced a feudal system with lands parceled out to William's loyal followers, thus reshaping the English aristocracy. Large tracts of land were taken from Anglo-Saxon nobles and given to Norman lords, fundamentally altering the ownership and management of land across England. Furthermore, the cultural landscape of England was transformed. The Normans brought their own customs, architecture, and language, which began to intermingle with the existing Anglo-Saxon traditions, ultimately leading to the development of the English language as we know it today. This blending of cultures also saw the emergence of Norman-inspired architecture, with the construction of impressive stone castles and cathedrals, many of which still stand as testaments to this transformative era. The Domesday Book, commissioned by William in 1086, exemplifies the ambition and thoroughness of Norman administration. This comprehensive survey of England's lands and resources provided William with a detailed account of his new kingdom's wealth and land holdings, enabling effective taxation and control. In retrospect, the Battle of Hastings was more than just a military triumph. It was a decisive turning point that ushered in a new epoch. The Norman influence laid the groundwork for the evolution of England into a cohesive and centralized state, and the effects of this conquest still reverberate through the pages of history. England, shaped by the events of set out on a path that would eventually lead to its emergence as a powerful nation on the global stage. As we reflect on the Battle of Hastings, we see not only a tale of kings and battles, but the dawn of a new England, molded by the forces of change and conquest.